World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Yana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
Hello, and welcome once again to another fantastic Tuesday where your host, the dressed down CEO Tyrone Glover, is coming to you live from Yonkers, New York, my hometown. Welcome everyone to the show, to the program. And first and foremost, we always want to thank you and give a huge shout out to everyone who makes time to be here. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, and always give a shout out to the man that makes this always possible, the creator. Without him, none of this would be possible. So we want to always give that due diligence where it is definitely needed. We want to thank Soul City for giving and providing this platform for us. Soul City has been doing what we needed to do, which is meet our community where they are, and they are doing a phenomenal job at making sure that we get real valued information out there into the public sphere, into the spaces, to those spaces that need it the most. And our African American community is in desperate need of financial literacy. So this is Leverage Your Score, where we help you take the current situation that you are in and we help you leverage it to the next possible wherever you want it to go, wherever you want it to be. If it's your credit, let's work on that. If it's balancing a budget, let's work on that. If it's understanding how your money should be working for you, let's work on that. Let's take the challenges and the circumstances and the situations and let's turn it into your advantages. In today's topic, what we're going to be talking about today is how do we empowering a generation to build wealth that lasts a lifetime. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, we've watched some crazy stuff happen over the last couple of weeks. We've watched some really insane stuff happen over the last couple of weeks. And if we go all the way back to the inauguration, we've been watching trillions of our dollars, literally erode from our savings, from our investments, from the opportunities that have been there, but unfortunately haven't been given that return. And we've watched our hard-earned get stripped away, and it's now time that we do something about it. So with that being said, let's dive into the program. Let's go ahead and get this party started. We're going to be talking about empowering a generation. How do we make sure that the next generation has what it needs? If you have questions, please do not hesitate to pop those questions in the various means and methods in which we are available for you to drop in those questions. All right, this is a necessary conversation. We're correcting the narrative. All right, really quick, I want to share with you our new location. We're in a new space, a new office, 86 Main Street in Yonkers, New York. We are now a proud nonprofit organization, and I am super excited about being able to say that. We're in our brand new space, which is at 86 Main Street, Yonkers, New York. Please, if you get time, stop by. say hello to the great folks here in Yonkers as we do what we do, which is make you.
To the left.
So just a minute. Let's take a listen here.
This is to the right, just off the elevator. So I'm gonna go this way. Now you can see there's a big sitting area. We can obviously use this area for little small meetings. Here's that conference room that I just showed you earlier, or in the setup. So it's a nice size conference room where, again, we can do projections. They got pretty good setups here. So again, coming back out of the conference room, back into that little hallway. And then as we continue through, you can see that there's a full operating kitchen where if we needed to have, just some refreshments or things of that nature. Looks like all of our individuals here are pretty friendly and pretty nice. All right, so you can see there's multiple suites on either side. Some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller. And the one that I was looking at was this one here. This one is the 12. So this is 512. And you can see there's already furnishings and everything already in here. But they're going to obviously move this out because this is a demo. So they show it as a demo. And then you can clearly see there would be one desk in this corner, one desk in that corner. And we could, if we needed to, put one desk in that corner, or we could do back-to-back desks, completely up to us.
I just wanted to share with you that wonderful space that we are now in, our new home, which is at 86 Main Street in Yonkers. We're going to be able to hold nice, wonderful events. We're looking forward to a positive 2025, and we're including all of you into that understanding. So we want to thank Hudson Hub for providing us with a brilliant, and when I say brilliant location, greatest location known to man. Across the street from the post office, diagonally across the street from the train station. All the buses run in this area, so there's no reason why anyone can't find us or can't make it to us when we have events. So just wanted to share with you that wonderful understanding. Here's a question that I'd like everyone to ask. Do you want a meal for today or the knowledge to feed yourself for a lifetime? I want you to take a few minutes to think about that. Do you want a meal for today or the knowledge that you would need for a lifetime? While you're thinking about a little bit about myself. So my name is Tyrone Glover. I'm a proud U.S. Army veteran with a distinguishing career spanning over 3 decades across K through 12 education and corporate leadership. My journey includes impactful roles at 19 organizations, both domestic and internationally, where I consistently advanced initiatives centered on employee well-being, organizational growth, and sustainable profitability. Grounded in a strong academic foundation in European studies, I bring a global perspective and strategic insights that have proven essential to my success in diverse and dynamic environments. I am widely recognized by colleagues, clients, students, and community members for my deep expertise in credit, consumer advocacy, and financial activism. My unwavering commitment to protecting consumer rights and empowering pro se litigation has become a cornerstone to my work. As I move forward, my mission remains clear: to ensure that youth and learners of all age are not only heard, but have a rightful seat at the table where decisions are made and futures are shaped. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have somebody who is here for you in your corner that comes with a wealth of knowledge. So I'm an authority in this space, and I'm now opening up that space to anyone who might be feeling some kind of way when it comes to their bottom line. It is now overdue time to get into the flow of protecting yourselves. You're the only ones who are going to be able to do that. You are the only ones who's going to protect you better than you. No one else is going to do that. All right. No one else is going to do that. You're the only one. All right. So the agenda for today, as you already know, we're going to be talking about empowering a generation to build wealth that outlasts you. All right, that lasts forever. Here's some statistics that I want to share with you. The United States ranks only 14th in the world for financial literacy. A sobering reminder that one of the wealthiest nations on earth is falling behind when it comes to educating its citizens and managing money, building wealth, and making informed financial decisions. And the question is why? Why are we so far behind? Think about that while you're thinking about the other questions. Hopefully, at some point, if you have any questions that you want to ask me, maybe you can, or not maybe, add them to one of the variety of different methods that we had. And this time, my apologies, last week, there was a question, actually 3 questions that were asked. And unfortunately, Matt, my apologies that I missed those. But yes, we do personal as well as business. We help personal individuals as well as businesses reestablish credit or find their way where they may have had some mishaps to getting them back on track, or they might be brand new to the financial world in the space of credit. But we help all walks of life, all ages. Again, you have to be 18 to start getting credit, but you can start working on your financial literacy at age 2. All right. So don't let the age prevent you from the understanding that you can have when it comes to how you must make your money work for you. You must make your money work for you. All right, so Aspen Institute USA Today. In the United States, financial hardship is more than a burden. It's a crisis. Nearly 1 in 6 suicides, okay? 1 in 6 suicides are directly linked to money-related stress. Ladies and gentlemen, money-related stress in a world where, or in the United States, where we have one of the biggest economies known to man. Come on now, why are we stressing over money? Money is easy. The question that I have for you is, how is it that yours is not working harder for you? Why are you working so hard and your money isn't? I can tell you one of the reasons, because it was systemic. This was something that was planned to happen, and we were not part of that plan. So even more alarming, fewer than 25% of young adults ages 18 to 26 report feeling very optimistic about their financial future. That means an entire generation is entering adulthood burdened by fear, uncertainty, and economic instability. Not hope, not opportunity or confidence, but burdened by fear, uncertainty, and economic instability. That has to be broken. That cycle has to be broken. And this is the year that we do it, 2025. This is the financial literacy month that we get this ball rolling. And not only do we get it rolling, we keep it rolling for generations and generations and generations and generations to come. Rich folks talk about money all the time. Poor folks do not. Middle-class people do not. It's now time that we adapt and adopt the same understandings about how we relate and conversate when it comes to money. Because if we do, nothing stops us but you. Nothing stands in our way but you. And that's all we want. We want you to be successful. We want you to be successful when it comes to your money. All right, so here, how does your state measure up when it comes to financial literacy? Discover your state's grade and what it means for your future. So I currently live in New York State. I've lived in California, and you can see here by the map that we have of the United States, look at some of these failing states, okay? All right, why are they failing? Because maybe they're not putting enough emphasis into it, but I gotta give a shout out to those A states. All right, those A states who are making it happen for themselves. Congratulations. If I'm not mistaken, this is Missouri, this is Ohio, this is Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken, or this one Kentucky. No, this was North Carolina, that's Kentucky. And oh man, I should know this. It's not New Mexico. I think it's not New Mexico. That's New Mexico, that's Arizona. can't remember, but nevertheless, we got some states out there that are making it happen for their young adults and for their community. And that's amazing. The B states, again, not going to put you on the back burner because, again, you're doing it, and that is important. But C, D, and E, C, we're going to give you a little bit of kudos as well, but D and E, come on now. Come on now. Every single one of these digits or letter grades should be moving towards bettering themselves. And I'm hoping that as we move from year to year, we start seeing more gray and less of the blue as well as the red. All right. We got work to do, people. And this is the only way to do that work, which is to have the conversation. All right. So financial literacy encompasses a lot of things. It encompasses action, a plan, investment, training, analysts. You have to break down. You have to have a strategy. You have to know how to manage it. You have to have solutions. You have to have goals. You need to know something about the economic situation. So there's a lot that ties into financial literacy. It's not just get money and then everything's going to be okay. No, there's a lot that involves. And this is probably one of the reasons why, again, it was kept such a hush-hush type of situation when we now think about financial literacy in our academic spaces. It's not there. I'm challenged with getting it into some of our academic spaces. I'm now imploring that higher education starts looking at this more in depth. I'm imploring that employers also equally start inviting financial experts and professionals into those spaces and have those conversations with your employees. We're coming to you so you don't have to worry about finding us. We're going to be hosting an event coming up here pretty soon. Pull up a chair in Getty Square, and we're going to be talking specifically about financial literacy. We're not going to be talking about government and governance and things of that nature. It might pop up here and there, but we're specifically diving into how do you secure that bag? How do you make sure that that bag outlives you and that the individuals that you're going to be leaving to your hard work, that they equally build upon that understanding? So financial literacy is a much, much broader conversation, and we're just tapping on the very surface of it. All right, so what is financial literacy? The ability to understand and effectively use various financial skills, including personal financial management, budgeting, and investing. Right? It's just that simple. It's not that challenging. It's actually pretty easy, but you have to want it. You have to want it more than any of us presenting it to you. And if you do, and if you invest that time, it's going to pay off. I'm for sure. I can't guarantee anything because the guarantee is you got to do the work. We're going to be here as a guarantee to help you navigate that space, but you have to put in that work. And I'm telling you, if you put in that work, you're going to watch it get easier and easier and easier and easier over time. But you gotta take the initiative. We're doing our part, and now we're looking for equal partners to do their part so that we all prosper. It's about prosperity. You want it? We're here to help you obtain it. All right, so financial literacy is the cornerstone of a secure and empowered life. It shapes how you earn, save, invest, and grow your wealth. This knowledge isn't just useful, it's essential. The earlier you begin, the greater your advantage. Becoming financially educated isn't a one-time lesson, it's a lifelong journey. And in that journey, knowledge isn't just power, it's the key to building generational wealth, freedom, and opportunities. I couldn't have said that even better than what I actually put on that paper, because that in itself, or in this PowerPoint, that in itself speaks volumes. You have to want it. And financial literacy is something that if you apply it, if you put it into that daily repertoire, that daily understanding, it's going to pay off in the long run. You will not have anything to worry about. Plus, if you make sure that those within that household, those that are in that circle of friends, equally get on board, share this opportunity, Make it a understanding that should something happen to you, there's somebody there who can continue the legacy. All right, let's leave legacy understandings versus leaving debt. It's in our hands. And it's not that it's just in our hands. We've done this before. I could talk about Black Wall Street, and at a later time frame, I will talk about Black Wall Street and how many of them were there that somehow throughout the sauce, we got lost somewhere. And as I said, this was systemic. It was strategic. This was planned by design to keep a good percentage of the population from being what? Financially literate. And it's now time to break those cycles. All right, so what are the essential financial skills everyone should master to build long-term wealth, financial independence, and economic resilience? All right, so budgeting. A budget is a strategic financial roadmap that outlines projected income and expenses over a defined period, imploring individuals and organizations to plan, prioritize, and make informed decisions towards achieving their financial goals. It's just that simple. Nothing more. It's just that simple. Yes, budgeting is something, it's a roadmap that outlines how you projectedly spend and receive income. And if you're budgeting properly, make sure again that you don't spend more than you are receiving, because at the end of the whatever that may be, the day, the week, the month, the year, as long as you're showing a profit, you're doing good. You're doing good. A profit. And that's what you all should be focusing on. You are the CEOs of your household, and we need to start seeing that your households are making a profit. All right. Next one is investments. An investment is a strategic acquisition of an asset or resource with the intentions of generating income or achieving long-term goals in value. This increase in worth over time is known as appreciation, a key driver in building wealth and securing financial stability. All right, let's think about that last piece again. This increase in worth over time is known as appreciation. All right, this sweater that I'm wearing, as good as it looks, it was depreciated the day that I bought it. And not only was it depreciated the day that I bought it, because I bought it on sale. All right. It was normally 50, 60 bucks, and I lucked out and got it for 30. So that means the manufacturer said, hey, we got a great product. It's got great designs and logos and things on it. But for whatever the reason, it wasn't doing it. Wasn't doing it. People were that maybe they were not happy about the D. Maybe they were not happy about the logo on the sleeve. So there might have been a variety of different reasons as to why the institution or the store that I bought it from put it down in the markdown. But trust me when I tell you, they didn't put it down in the markdown to not make profit on it. They made their profit on it. They may have purchased a couple more too many. And now they say, hey, we still got some overstock, so let's go ahead and make our profit first and then reduce it and still make even more on top of that. So this appreciation that I'm talking about, you want to make sure that you have investments that are appreciating, that are growing in value. All right, 401ks got hit over the last, let's start with the beginning of the year up until now. You have watched a lot of what should have been appreciating actually getting liquidated, right? There's some key terms that I think everybody should be paying attention to. All right, so appreciation over time, a key driver in building wealth and securing financial stability. This is what investments do. So we have to now start thinking in our community, are we investing? Are we doing the things that are going to help that bottom line and appreciate over time? So personal financial management. At its core, personal financial management is the disciplined practice of understanding and optimizing your financial resources to not only meet your day-to-day needs, but also to strategically build long-term stability, security, and generational wealth. So we are working towards helping individuals who want to meet whatever their goals are. But you have to become financially literate. You have to be financially skilled. You have to want to master this particular space, because it's going to help you with making sure that not only do you have enough for your life expectancy, that you also equally have enough for those that you will be leaving behind when in that ultimate case of, which we all will be, passing away at some point. I would love to live to 100, 200, 300, whatever. I know that seems kind of crazy, but I want to outlive my money, but I know I'm not going to. But I also want to make sure that my money doesn't go when I go. I want to make sure that those I'm going to be leaving this behind have that same financial skill, that they have that same understanding of creating wealth and growing that wealth as we grow within ourselves, within our communities. We should be thinking about buying back our communities and not letting our communities get bought out from underneath us. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look around your neighborhoods. Look around your areas and see how many new apartments have been put up. See how much rent has gone up. Right? If you don't believe what I'm saying, just go outside. Look in the newspaper. Do we use newspapers any longer? I know we should be, because that's a great way of staying connected with local understandings. But nevertheless, news is always about tragedies, and we're attempting to shed a positive light on how you can make sure that your money does not go into places where it should not be. And what has been happening over time is your money has been going into spaces and places where it should not be. You're not receiving the true return on your investments, and it's overdue time. But with that personal financial management, that should help you with understanding the things that you probably may have missed along the way. All right, so personal finance, a term that covers managing your money as well as saving and investing. Again, financial literacy, not that challenging. Personal finance, not that challenging. But when we are not talking about it, when we're not having that conversations, it becomes a part of something that we should not be letting be elusive. And unfortunately, it is happening that way. And we got to do better at making sure that we're not the burden bearers of other individuals. We've given our resources to these companies, and we're so caught up on what the dollar amount is and not really paying much attention to what the percentages are. We've really got to be more strategic in that area. All right, so personal and financial management. All right, so mastering your money, the power of personal financial management. Managing personal finance is more than a daily routine. It's a lifelong strategy that revolves around 5 essential pillars. Income. Now, everybody should understand income is what you receive for your work. It's income. You don't receive money. You receive an income, you receive a wage, or you receive a compensation, but you don't receive money. All right, so that's the biggest part that I need people to work, because money should be working for you. You shouldn't be working for money. You should be working for an income, a salary, a wage, or compensation. Next piece of that pillar is the spending. How much of that income are you spending on the essentials, and how much of it are you spending on the non-essentials? Because it's really important to make sure that your non-essentials do not become the priority and your essentials are sitting on the back burner. You have to decide which is more important. And I'm going to tell you right now, which is more important. That rent, number one. That rent. And I've been asking all landlords and I've been asking all tenants to get with their landlords and figure out a way where you can become a team, a unit, and work together versus having your landlord or you be in court for unpaid rent or things of that nature. If you're working together and you're doing the things that benefit both parties, you can eliminate being in court for an unpaid circumstance or situation. And that comes with understanding that spending. How is it benefiting you? Just because you pay your rent and there's no return on that investment, you could feel like you're getting shortchanged, especially if situations and circumstances aren't being resolved within that arrangement and partnership. So as I said, it's important to make sure that your essentials are being taken care of first, and then your non-essentials. But I always tell individuals, reward yourself regardless. Okay? Don't overdo the reward, but reward yourself. Even if it's just a simple cup of coffee or a simple bottle of soda. You do not have to go out and get a 9, 10, 12 course meal. You do not have to go out and spend crazy to reward yourself. Reward yourself for the work that you've done, and then go and take care of those items that are very much necessary for you to build that financial stability. Savings, another area that I traditionally not necessarily steer away from, I steer towards, but I do it in a more strategic understanding. My savings has to give me good returns. It has to give me just as good as return as my investments. All right, so saving and investments, they will kind of work hand in hand, because your savings and your investments should be growing over time. All right, and it seems that we're getting a lot more in our investments and very little in our savings, and they should be going at almost the identical rate, because your savings, your investments, operative terms is yours. You're giving it or putting it into these locations and places, and guess what? You're not getting back. You're not getting back adequate ROI. All right, ROI, return on investments. And you have to make sure moving forward that you are asking those questions to those who are managing your resources. Make sure that they understand savings as well as investments should be growing over time and not marginally. They should be growing with a significant amount of return, because they're making money off of your money. How come you're not? Yes, I said it. How come you're not? We're putting money in banks. How come you're not getting a good return? You put your money in credit unions. How come you're not getting a good return? You put your money or have put your money into a variety of different investment vehicles. How come you're not seeing the return on those investments? And last but not least, protection. Are you protecting those 4 areas? Are you protecting your income? Are you protecting your spending? Are you protecting your savings? Are you protecting your investment? Are you protecting your household as that CEO? And if you are, congratulations. And if you aren't, well, this is now the time to start thinking about what are the things that you should be doing. All right? So true financial empowerment comes from the mastering each of these areas with intention and discipline. All right. Everything that you should be doing should be done with intent and definitely with discipline. So smart personal finance means more than just keeping the lights on. It means creating a budget that works, building an emergency fund that shields you from setbacks, eliminating debt that drains your future, leveraging credit as a tool, not a trap, and securing your retirement through consistent forward-thinking savings. Again, that is a perfect setup for anyone who wants to start achieving financial stability and independence. It's about taking control of your money before it takes control of you. Say that one more time. It's about taking control of your money before it takes control of you. And it doesn't matter whether or not you've been in some type of a setback, whether you're just starting out, neither one of these circumstances or situations matter. It matters how you do what you're supposed to do. Again, thinking about the earlier portion where I said with intent and discipline. Whether you're just starting your financial journey or fine-tuning your game plan, these fundamentals strategies are the blueprint to building lasting wealth and peace of mind. And that's what we all want in this game of money, in this game of life, in this game of financial stability. We want to be able to build lasting wealth and peace of mind. All right, so crafting a strong financial foundation, here's some key elements for a wealth building strategy. So income assessment. Evaluate your total income to understand how much can be responsibly allocated to essential skills like expenses, taxes, and saving. Your income is the engine that drives all aspects of your financial life. Cash flow management. All right. Yes, these are terms that you're going to have to get comfortable with if you want to find yourself in a financially stable, secure, and independent situation or relationship. You're going to need to know how to place each one of these 10 key elements into your understanding. And if you do not know how, again, as I said, we're here to help. We're here to guide. We're here to maintain a positive relations with our clients, with our community, so that they understand you're never going to be alone as you navigate through this space. All right, so cash flow management, monitor your income and expenses to ensure a healthy financial flow. Smart spending and forward-thinking budgeting allows you to maximize what you earn and prepare for what's ahead. Capital retention. Preserve excess cash by streamlining spending and creating strategic buffers. A positive cash surplus strengthens your financial resilience and unlocks future opportunities. Yes, you don't want to be credit rich and cash poor. You want to be credit rich and you also want to be cash rich. Yes, there are advantages to being and having both of those in a much higher understanding, because what does it create? There's a word already out there that we've seen it a couple of times already. It allows for you to create leverage. Leverage credit recovery. Sounds familiar, huh? Yeah, that's the name of our business, because we took those key strategic pieces and we added them to create a brand that helps you always remember you have to leverage your experience, create the credit that you need. And if you find yourself, unfortunately, in a circumstance where you probably don't want to be, how do you recover from it? All right, so capital retention preserves excess cash by streamlining spending and creating strategic buffers. A positive cash flow surplus strengthens your financial resilience and unlocks future opportunities. Family protection. You want to safeguard your loved ones through comprehensive insurance plans and risk mitigation strategies. All right. Financial security isn't just about wealth. It's about peace of mind. All right. Protect that family. Make sure that they understand, hey, we're going to have those Friday night family financial literacy conversations, or we're going to have a Saturday afternoon where we sit down and talk about what the upcoming week is going to be like with our money. We're going to have those weekend retreats where we get the family together or we get the community together and we sit down and we talk about what money looks like. Rich people, as I said, talk about money all the time. Poor people and middle class people, what is the problem? Why are we not doing the exact same thing? Investment strategies. Develop a disciplined investment plan to grow your capital. Compound interest. Benjamin Franklin. Not Thomas Edison. Albert Einstein said compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Those who understand it earn it, and those who do not pay it. All right. Diversified assets and time in the markets are essential tools for long-term wealth building. You have to have investment strategies. If you are unsure, there are professionals in that space, certified financial planners in that space that can help you. But the most important thing about these individuals is that you must know what they're doing. Because if you don't know what they're doing, they can tell you anything. They can tell you anything. And we get caught up on numbers, and unfortunately, it's the dollar number that we get caught up on, and it now has to be the percentage number that you're getting a better understanding of. Because I don't see why or how a company that takes your resources and they make 20, 30% off of your resources and turn around and only give you 4%. Come on, make that make some sense. They're making 20, 30% off of the collective understanding as a whole, but turning around and only giving you a marginal piece of your money's performance. How does that work? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And it only works because they do what makes you feel comfortable by telling you, oh, you're going to have $100,000 or you're going to have $200,000 while they're making 50 million or whatever the number may be. And from my understanding, I heard something. I don't know how true it is, but I'm not even going to repeat it because I don't like to repeat things that don't ring true. But nevertheless, you give them money, they hold it for you, they make money off of it, and then they turn around and give you the smallest piece. I think we're living in a situation where that's a little bit backwards, and I think we need to correct that. I know we need to correct it. All right, your standard of living. Increase your quality of life through intentional financial planning. Confront and security. Comfort and security are the rewards of disciplined decision making and smart financial habits. Financial literacy and reflection. Use your financial choices and their results as learning tools. That's a brilliant one right there. That is a brilliant one. Use your financial choices and their results as learning tools, whether they're positive or whether they're negative. Use them as a learning tool. Reflect on both wins and setbacks, deepens your understanding and empowers better decisions moving forward. Asset acquisition. Build your portfolios with low risk, high valued assets. If you are unsure what this all means, ladies and gentlemen, get with us. Sit down, schedule out a time frame where we can sit down or have someone that you already trust in that space. Have them sit you down and go over it as if you were 4 years old so that you could understand what these terms and how these will apply to creating the financial understanding that you need. Prioritize limited liability. All right. And long-term appreciations to enhance your financial positioning. Emergency savings. Maintain liquid assets or emergency funds to weather unexpected events. Financial stability starts with being prepared for the unknown. And they're going to happen all the time. All right. Professional guidance. Establish an ongoing relationship with a financial advisor. Expert insights ensures your strategy evolves with your goals, lifestyle, and the economy. These individuals are experts for a reason. But as I said, you don't need to be an expert. You just need to know that the expert knows that you are paying attention to your money. Because there's a lot of them out there. And I tell you right now, folks, they have been having their way with our resources. All right, so mastering these 10 principles ensures you to design a resilient, sustainable, and prosperous financial future. Your future blueprint should be as dynamic as your life, consistently growing, adapting, and improving. All right, we're about 15 minutes into the 15 minutes, and it goes so quick. It goes so quick. And I always want to open up the floor to potential questions. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask, please do not hesitate to drop in a question in either one of the various spaces that are available for you. All right, so investments, an asset or item acquired with the goal of generating income or appreciation over time. All right, as you can see here by this illustration, this is an apple tree. It could be an orange tree. It could be whatever type of a tree, but it was planted, and guess what? It's now bearing. It's bearing fruit, and as long as they keep it watered, as long as they keep the vitamins and the essential understandings, give it light, and allow for photosynthesis to happen, to do all of the things that it needs to do, guess what it's going to keep doing? It's going to keep bearing those fruits. It's going to keep bearing those fruits. Your money should be doing the exact same thing. It should be bearing more fruit over time and not less fruit. Okay? Because you're nurturing it. You're doing the things that you need to be doing to your investments. Same thing that you do when it comes to caring for a child. Same thing that you do when it comes to caring for a pet. Same thing that you do when it comes to caring for your money. All right? Very simple. As I said, I don't want to make this into a challenging understanding. I want to make this as simple as I possibly can. So investing, invest in you. All right, buy, sell. Understand how this works. Investments, investing, and invest in you. And we'll talk more about what you need to be doing when it comes to that understanding of bringing in some experts who can talk more about the stock market, who can talk more about investments and what investments you should be thinking about, who can talk also about that kind of taboo, scary area of day trading, which I think is one of the most essential equalizers in today's society. You're going to have to learn how to manage or control. You are doing what you need to be doing to learn how to manage, but the next portion of it is you need to start controlling part of that asset, meaning 2, 5, 10%. Let that 98, 95, or even 90% do what it needs to do in that normal traditional market. But if you learn the things that they want you not to learn, and you learn how they do it, again, it goes back to that word that I keep saying over and over and over. It creates leverage for you. You're able to walk into these financial institutions and you're able to tell them what you want versus them telling you what you're going to get. All right, so investments, strategic strategies, strategic by race. All right, the most common ethnic among investors is the white ethnic group, which makes up 73.2% of all investors. Comparatively, there are 10.5% of Hispanics or Latino ethnicities and 8.7%. Now that's disturbing, ladies and gentlemen. That is disturbing. Those numbers and that gap in between the Hispanic and African American to the Caucasian race or the white race, that's not going to do it. It's not. And now that we're having the conversation, I hope that we're closing some of this misunderstanding as to why these things are the way that they are. Investments. An investment is a strategic acquisition of an asset with the goal of building long-term wealth and preserving the value of hard-earned income. At its core, investing is a deliberate act of using money to generate more money through appreciation, income, or both over time. The ultimate purpose for investing is to create financial growth, security, and the freedom to achieve financial future goals. That's it. And guess how you're going to do that? With teamwork, ladies and gentlemen. With teamwork. We have to decide, are we working with or against? And I can tell you right now, if we're working with each other, we're going to accomplish some of the most amazing things. But we just have to get out of our own way. All right, here's a couple of more statistics. The average age of an investor. All right, look at those males. Unknown, whites, okay, to females. African Americans. There's more females who invest than males. Males, what's going on? How in the African American community are women supposedly smarter? Is that what we're trying to say here? Well, men, let's catch up. Also, when it comes to Caucasian women, what's going on there? How is it that you've allowed yourselves to fall so far behind the male counterparts? And African American males, how is it that you have fallen so far behind your counterpart? Asians, wow, that's startling. And then Hispanic and Latinos, again, they're running neck and neck, which is they see things in a manner in which it needs to be more conducive for both the genders to be economically stable when it comes to knowing how to invest. The types of investors, degree levels. So most of the investors, as we can see, they have a bachelor's. The most common degree for investors is a bachelor's degree. 72% of investors earn a bachelor's. A close second is a master's with 12, and rounding it off with an associate's of 9. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have the highest level of degree. It just means that you need a degree, or you should have a degree. And obviously the bachelor's degree are the areas in which most people are saying, hey, if I got that, then I might as well make sure that I'm financially stable as well. So an investment, again, is a strategic commitment of resources, whether time, money, or energy, with the intention of generating a return that exceeds the original contribution. It is a forward-thinking decision driven by purpose, practice, and the belief in future growth. All right, simple. And I got to say that one right again. It is a forward-thinking decision driven by purpose. You have to want it. Practice, which you have to do consistently, and the belief, not just in the future growth, but also belief in you that you can do this. Yes, that's what investments are. All right, so here a couple more. Investors, wage gaps by race. Unknown, 119 roughly. The whites are just about over that 119, roughly about 120, 123. Excuse me, 120, 120, 121. Look at the African Americans. Okay, our income group is it's falling behind. And we can talk about these salaries in a different capacity, but we know that 60 to 70% of the population doesn't earn nowhere near that. All right, so there's a huge gap just by looking at this in who has the ability, once they make this type of money, what are they doing with it? And then clearly, we're not even talking about that bottom percentile that doesn't have the resources nor the means. They're living paycheck to paycheck. But I can tell you right now, by leveraging your credit, by knowing how to budget and manage the resources that you have and live within those means, or you're able to surpass whatever you may have thought prior to this. All right, so what does investors earn the most? Investors earn the most in Alaska. So go ahead, Alaska, making it happen for you. There you go. Look at that, 225K. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Where the average income salary is 110. The map here shows where investors earn the highest salaries in the United States. The darker areas across the 50 states highlight the highest salaries. All right, so New York does extremely well for himself. Again, I didn't think, is that Kentucky? That is Kentucky. Wow, Kentucky, you that rich? Holy cow. That's amazing. Or, yeah, yes, that is Kentucky. But nevertheless, look at those. Look at where the majority of wealth is. All right, look at where the majority of wealth is. If you live in New York State, Connecticut, New Jersey, we're doing extremely well for ourselves. So why is it that we do not have the resources that we're supposed to have? Why? Alaska, amazing, amazing. Love the way that they are doing what they're doing up there when it comes to income. Now, are these folks saving it? Are they putting it to the side? Are they doing the things that they need to be doing when it comes to this investment? Again, an investment can refer to any medium or mechanism used to generate future income, including bonds, stocks, real estate properties, or alternative investments. Just making sure I'm not missing any questions. If there is a question that does pop up, please, again, we are here to answer your questions. So we have about 5 more minutes. And if you have a question that you want asked or answered, please do not hesitate. So budgets, an estimate of revenue and expenses over a specific future period of time that is reevaluated on a periodic basis. All right, so you're going to be constantly looking at your budget. How do we make an adjustment here, there? Are we doing too much over here that we need to take from here to put it over here? How do we manage that and constantly go back to reevaluate it to make sure that things are in play? Because as I said, you need to be making a profit every single pay period or every single cycle, however those cycles may be. but you should be making a profit, not just looking at the dollars. Did I make $1 more or $2 more? No. How much percentage did I walk away with after I reevaluated the periodic basis of my budgeting? All right, so we talked about that budgeting piece, and budgeting is not just a one-off. Now, you could do it once, but again, if you're running a household or you're running a successful understanding, you may have to look at that budget a couple of more times throughout the month, okay, until it becomes a routine behavior. And then you can focus on maybe once or twice out of that month, but that's going to be up to you to decide. Our job is to give you a plan. Our job is to give you a understanding, and then your job is to orchestrate it so that it works best for your bottom line. So what is budget? Budget is more than just a number. It's a powerful financial blueprint for your future. It's a detailed projection of your income and expenses over a defined period, regularly reviewed to help you stay on track. Budgets can be tailored for individuals, families, businesses, organizations, and government. Anyone managing money. Why is budgeting essential? Because it empowers you to take control of your financial life. It helps you manage monthly expenses, plan for unexpected events, and make major purchases without falling into debt. Contrary to popular belief, budgeting isn't just about restrictions. It's about awareness and intention. I love that word. It keeps popping up, but do things with intent. You don't need to be a math whiz or give up things you love. You just need a plan. And Dr. Yana B always talks about, if you don't have a plan to succeed, you definitely have a plan to fail. When you track your income and spending, you gain clarity. You begin to see patterns, make smarter decisions, and build a more secure future. Budgeting gives you the freedom to spend with confidence and save with purpose. I believe this has been an amazing opportunity for those who really want to move forward in their financial literacy understanding. This has been an opportunity that we're going to continuously promote, that we're going to continuously advocate for, that we're going to continuously mentor and monitor individuals who want that financial success. Over time, it's going to happen, and it's going to happen because you want it more than those who are presenting it to you. So let us know if you have any questions. Call, text, email, or link to us today and get a free consultation. Or join us, as I said, on one of our upcoming events, which is going to be our Pull Up a Chair in Getty Square. You can reach us at 805-428-9424. Our link tree, we're still waiting on our websites to be created and completed. Our link tree is going to be linktr.ee/leverage credit recovery. And you can always email us at leveragecreditrecovery@gmail.com. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for making time, for giving us the opportunity to be here, to serve you, to make sure that you understand. So like us, follow us, join us on the variety of social media platforms that are out there. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for you giving us the time to do what we do best, which is help get you to that level of where you want to be when it comes to leveraging your score, becoming financially literate, or getting that knowledge so that you can pass it on to the next generation. I want to thank you immensely. I want to wish you all a wonderful remainder of your Tuesday. And as always, thank you so much for being part of the show. And as always, be safe, America.